Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Harry Muppet, and welcome back to another Daily Masters, where we will be getting into a ZvZ game. This is also from DreamHack Valencia, round of 32, something like that. And it is going to be VortiX up the top left side of the map as our yellow Zerg, and HyuN down the bottom right side of the map as our red Zerg. So yeah, it's going to be freaking awesome. ZvZ going off against each other, and of course in the tournament I'm uploading right now, the Asus ROG, actually no, I won't say anything because yeah, this game might go up before I finish uploading it, so I won't say too much. But yeah, ZvZ, man, freaking awesome all over the place. And as you can see, these guys are a mirror image, except that HyuN has slightly more minerals, so I don't know how that happened. But yeah, they're pretty much a mirror image, going all over the place, which is what you expect to see from a very, very high level ZvZ. So we are definitely not disappointed, not at all. And yeah, the question is, I mean, tactic wise, what are these guys going to do? So you've got all sorts of options for a ZvZ tactic wise. You've got roaches, which is very, very popular. I think we saw a couple of tournaments where ZvZ was just nothing but roaches. But we have seen some a bit more interesting choices lately. Roach Hydra, always very, very solid in the mid to late game. Lings, always very strong in the very, very early game, especially if you add in Banelings as well. Ling Baneling is one of the most impressive very, very early game strategies I've seen in ZvZ. Around the 6-7 minute, getting in there, hitting with the Banelings, trying to open a path to get your Banelings in far enough to hit the workers. Very, very strong if you manage to pull it off successfully. And yeah, other than that, I mean, occasionally you will see mutas, but mutas not that prevalent in ZvZ. It's just, yeah, I mean, you need to have something a bit more solid, I think. Our Lings are not solid by themselves, but as a group, they're quite solid. Mutas, yeah, they're I don't know, man. You need a lot of them. You need a lot of mutas, and they cost so much. Lings, relatively cheap, so you can get a large amount of them very, very easily, and a large amount of them are solid. Roaches are very solid individually. So you send out 3 or 4 roaches, you can do some damage with 3 or 4 roaches. 3 or 4 mutas, you can't really do much with 3 or 4 mutas, man. They just sort of fall apart. You go out to one spore crawler and it just starts wiping everything out. So you really, really do need a large wave of them. And getting a large wave of anything, which costs 100 gas in a ZvZ, almost impossible. Almost impossible. Because what you'll do is you'll get a large amount of mutas, and the enemy will get twice as many hydras and just wipe you out. I mean, it's just absolutely obscene how crazy the macro is in ZvZ, and is really, look at this, man. 5 there, 5 there, so close, and they're both getting speed as well. So you'd expect around this point for builds to start diverging quite a bit. We haven't really seen that so much. We do have a Baneling Nest coming down for VortiX, and we do have a Baneling Nest coming down for HyuN. So without really knowing it, they are both going for exactly the same thing. And what this probably will mean is that either one player will screw up a little bit, or they'll just bash their heads against each other and will be heading into the mid game, because they'll spend the next 5 minutes realizing, oh shit, he's going for the same thing as me. And then they'll both tech switch at pretty much the same time into something else. And if they both tech switch at the same time into the same thing, then the game will just go on. And it starts to become a sort of death by 1,000 cuts sort of thing going on, where suddenly that extra worker you got at the 5-minute mark, like for example, HyuN is 2 workers up, that starts to add up over time. That starts to add up a little bit over time, although he's getting 3 and he's getting 1, so it looks like he's going to bridge that gap. Sort of. 34 to 36. I do not know, man. I do not know, but we do have HyuN. He's getting out quite a lot of Banelings. Or he's getting out some Banelings, so that's going to be good. VortiX already got a decent number of Banelings by himself. And yeah, looks like HyuN has been getting a little bit more workers than VortiX, and VortiX has he had a bit more banelings, but HyuN rapidly caught up to his number of banelings and surpassed it a little bit, and now I feel like he has the better force, and his income, wow, his income is actually quite a bit ahead, with HyuN really going for this nice and big, but of course VortiX going for the roach he was always intending to go off the roaches, off that little bit of baneling harass. HyuN countered with a little bit of banelings by himself, but now he is going to see the roaches, and the fact, I mean, this Ling attack caught HyuN totally on the back foot, and the fact that VortiX transitioned so fast into roaches after getting that small amount of banelings means that he now has a very, very scary amount of roaches on the map, and it's 13 roaches. HyuN does not even have a roach warren yet, so HyuN is in a crap ton of trouble right here, and is going to take every single bit of micro he can muster to save himself. He doesn't even have a roach warren, so right now he's getting everything he can to try and hold this off, and using banelings against roaches is an abysmal trade, but it's all he has right now. He's swapping in a ton more banelings. He knows that banelings are going to be better than just lings against the roaches, and the banelings going in, actually doing a ton of damage there. It takes like 3 or 4 banelings to kill a roach, but he managed to do that, and the spine crawler's doing a crap ton of damage. 4 roaches managing to make it past the spine crawler wall, so he should be fine with any further waves, but these roaches are going to do a bit of damage right here. And yeah, reinforcing lings coming in, and they're going to try and get the surround on the roaches. They do get a pretty nice surround, and there's just so damn many of them. And look at this, man. VortiX is coming off that with just a whole bunch of lings. He's not going for the win anymore. He's just going for damage, taking out a ton of workers, getting a ton of workers on his own. So he knows he did some damage. He knows that he's put HyuN on the back foot. And yeah, really, really doing a great job here. And my thingamabob is not, there we go, that's better. It was skating off the edge of the screen without me telling it to, which is always bad, because you try and scroll right and suddenly your mouse is on the other monitor. You're like, hey, how did that happen? So HyuN managing to push that off with an overwhelming number of lings, and now he is countering because he's built so many lings. He's wasted so many minerals on spines. We needed to build those spines, but long term those spines are not going to do anything for him. So all those minerals going down on the spines, and in the end he's just got a ton of lings against a ton of roaches, and his economy, I mean, VortiX has caught up. So yeah, he's actually surpassing him by quite a bit, man. VortiX knows he is in the lead in terms of his army, and he is going to milk it for all he's worth, getting a crap ton of workers. HyuN's still madly trying to catch up on the roach numbers to try and be able to hold off, to try and be able to do something, but VortiX taking advantage, and there's another 9 workers coming out. So HyuN just in so much trouble here. He got behind on the roach tech, and having to throw lings and banelings against roaches, not cost effective in any sense of the word, man. If we have a look at the the units lost, we can see actually VortiX has actually lost quite a bit more there. That's surprising. I would have thought that HyuN may have lost a bit more, but no, that's very interesting. It must have been when all those lings came by later on, they started getting wiped out. But yeah, I do not know. I still think that VortiX is definitely in the lead. Look at that, 20 workers ahead, and he has turned into an absolute powerhouse right here. So HyuN is he was a bit screwed here, and he doesn't know it. VortiX transitioning into getting the roaches, very, very smart. He's got his timing down nice and perfectly, because yeah, if he had just kept building workers at this point, he would have got hit, hard, and he would have been a bit screwed. But now he's producing roaches once again, and if he can hold off here, he is going to have a ton of roaches coming out. He will be able to out macro HyuN, and then he will be in a very, very good position. But the question is, can he hold off here? These roaches coming in doing quite a lot of damage. I think he should be okay. If we have a look at the upgrades here, both players have 1 weapons, but that is it. And VortiX, with the reinforcement advantage, is going to push HyuN off here. HyuN getting quite a ton of roaches, but VortiX is matching him on the roach production, and he does have a massive income over HyuN. So yeah, it's going to come down to, I think VortiX just has the macro here, and HyuN does not, and right now VortiX can really start to put the pressure on HyuN, and there's not much that HyuN can do about it because he just can't match the awesome macro that VortiX is pumping out right now. There he goes. He's going to go in from the side. He doesn't want to go through this gap here, and it's a very good decision because there's actually a ton of spines there. But he's going to go through the rocks. I don't know if HyuN knows about this, but he is moving a lot of his roaches back. He's moving the spines back, so he does know about this. If VortiX wants to make a move, he's going to have to go as fast as he can. But it looks like maybe this was a feint. And then he's going to go back around here. I do not know what his plan is. I don't think he wants to attack those rocks. That would be quite a stupid move, but it looks like he's going to go in there, but he waited a bit too long, and HyuN has a massive concave there. Massive army. If we have a look at the units, VortiX has 35 versus HyuN's 28, but not all of those 35 are there. There's probably still a lot of them reinforcing, and HyuN, of course, has the reinforcement advantage. So he is, I think he might be able to push in here. I think he might be able to hold this off. VortiX trying his very best. It's even out. It's sort of even. I don't know. I do not know if HyuN can actually hold this. I think he can. Yeah, look at all these reinforcements coming out. So he's going to fall back. And HyuN managing to hold that off. But VortiX, of course, producing a crap ton of stuff. He's been trying to get a few more workers. He's got about 7 more than he had. But he is still so far behind. I don't know if he knows how far behind he is. I think he does know, because he's getting 9 workers off that push. He feels like he's in a good position. He can make something happen. VortiX, meanwhile, getting a 4th base, so he's not going to be slacking off on. And look at that, 17 roaches, man, just going absolutely nuts. And yeah, not a good position for VortiX to be in, with the concave going off beautiful here. But he feels like he can just overwhelm. He's got 10 more roaches on the field. Once again, not all of these roaches are here though, so these guys are going to be going down quite a bit. Both of them with 2 weapons. The reinforcements coming in, and HyuN actually backing off there. So HyuN not really full on pressuring. He saw VortiX back off, and then he's like, no, actually he backed off first. I think he backed off, and then VortiX backed off at the same time. So yeah, VortiX, man, going nuts, getting a ton of units, and thinking about opening up his 4th base. Whole bunch of overseers going around having a scout, so they know what's going on. This guy's going to be having some fun over there, and he sees the rocks go down. So yeah, HyuN has got to be guessing that there's a 4th base, and indeed there is a 4th base. So HyuN can see himself slowly getting a little bit further behind. He's definitely caught up on workers though. I don't know how VortiX lost 3 workers. I think he's just building stuff, but yeah, HyuN has managed to get that extra amount of workers up, and he's now in a good position. But has the damage been done already? Is this 30 army supply enough for VortiX to take this game? And the answer is, I do not know. He's gotta do something. He keeps going in here, but there's nothing here, and he does not want to move up the ramp. Moving up the ramp is suicide, absolute suicide. If HyuN is in a good spot to take him out. And here we go though, HyuN is going to give him enough time to get a nice bit of a concave there. And VortiX is going to have a push, he's going to have a go. Both of these guys at 2-1. So very even as far as that's concerned. I feel like HyuN still has a little bit of a concave, and VortiX falling back. He does not like that position. And if we have a look at the units, wow, HyuN actually came out of that ahead. He's just been going absolutely nuts here. He's, yeah, VortiX they're evened up now. He's trying to make a push in here, but 2 roaches cutting him off, and these guys are just going to be taken out. So yeah, VortiX getting out a ton of roaches, and he's finally transitioning into a Hydralisk den. HyuN has already got the Hydralisk den, and he's getting 12 Hydras out, and all the upgrades that entails. So yeah, I mean, HyuN holding it off. I feel like VortiX maybe could have pressed a little bit harder, but HyuN always had the defensive advantage, so he could never quite make it work. Maybe he could have pushed a little bit harder, but I don't know. I can't say for sure. And I think it, yeah. I don't know if it's going to work here, because somehow if we have a look at the units here, 63 over 43 and 15. So this is VortiX totally maxing out on roaches, and we will have to see if the extra roaches he's got are going to be able to match the hydras that HyuN has managed to get. And I honestly don't know if it's going to be enough, because you've got 6 extra roaches, you got 20 roaches versus 15 hydras here, and the other roaches are pretty much evened up. So I don't know if it's going to be enough. The hydra's really doing a crap ton of damage here. They're just so good at shredding through roaches, and Roach is doing such a good job here. But in the end, the Hydra's managed to finish it off, and HyuN, I think he has won himself the game simply by transitioning into Hydra Tech a little bit earlier than VortiX. And there was probably a time a few minutes ago when VortiX could have taken advantage of HyuN going for Hydras a bit earlier, but he did not know that he was going for Hydras, and that time wasn't really open. And now HyuN, I mean, he's got his macro up to the same point as VortiX, and he's got the tech up. And I feel like with this, HyuN is now in the lead. He's got the better unit composition, and he's got the bigger army. So I feel like he's got it in the bag right now, and he just has to keep pushing in, and he will make it happen. We got 44 roaches versus 39 plus 11 hydras. VortiX though getting 10 hydras, and HyuN getting 8 roaches. So I don't know. It's not over. It's not really over. And I don't know, man. Maybe he gets the 10 hydras. He pushes off this army. He goes for a ton of macro, ton of workers, maybe. But I just do not know. I mean, he's got to get those hydras into the battle. And where are those 10 hydras? I can only see like 6 of the guys. And yeah, I do not know. Here come the reinforcing hydras now. They're going to start to do something. But I feel like he just doesn't have enough. I feel like the forces that HyuN is throwing at him is just going to be too much. And yeah, I mean, he's just got the advantage right now. He's just got the numbers advantage. And VortiX just doesn't have a chance anymore. There's just too many forces going at him. And there we go. He gets wiped out. So very good game. Just excellent job on HyuN getting the hydras out a little bit early. And there was an infinitesimal gap there where VortiX could have punished him for that transition with an overwhelming number of roaches, but he didn't really go for it. I don't know if he even knew it was happening, the Hydra transition, because of course HyuN kept his roach numbers up nice and high. And there we go, HyuN leaving it out, taking the win. Congratulations to HyuN for that awesome game. So this has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed this Daily Masters cast. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And you know what? Like this video as well, because yeah, everybody's got to like something. So there we go. This has been Hairy Muppet. Catch you guys tomorrow for the next Daily Masters.